When Resident Evil 4 broke onto the scene, it showed that action and horror can be merged into one game that highlights the best aspects of both genres. I can remember while playing it saying to myself, this is going to change everything. Every game is going to want to be this. And I was right. Afterwards, there was a hailstorm of games that used RE4 as a basis. Some used it as a leaping off point, while others just blatantly ripped it off. This continued even into the current generation, as it is easy to see what Dark Sector is trying to be. You play the game as Hayden, a CIA operative who suffers from congenital analgesia that is mostly used by the government to clean up whatever mess is the dirtiest. This time they send him into the Eastern European country of Lasria on a mission to intercept and bring down Robert Mesner. Things don't go exactly as planned, and Hayden becomes infected with the technocyte virus, which turns his right arm into the ultimate weapon.
In spite of the fact that you are so broken. But I can fix you.
Only because of his condition does he not get driven insane from the pain, so he must finish his mission and stop Mesner from unleashing it onto the world. But life with a mutated arm seems to fit well with Hayden, as he now has a new weapon to utilize. He can now at will spawn a glaive, a bladed boomerang-like thing, and use it for all sorts of things. From the basic things like solving puzzles, flipping switches, and picking up weapons from afar, to the more interesting and more deadly things like carving his enemies up and severing them apart limb by limb. Over time, Hayden gains even more abilities that will aid in his mission. The game is played from an over-the-shoulder-like perspective. You move through and explore the environments while also dealing with the enemies. Unlike RE4, you can move when you bring up your aiming, which makes the action less about fear and more about combat. You can dual wield a handgun at the same time you have your glaive ready to go. This makes for some great combat sequences, with you launching your boomerang of death, then cleaning up the rest with your bullets. And everything looks nice, with a grim dark shade that covers the world, making you feel like you are in a turbulent country that is filled with creatures waiting to kill you. Dark Sector may not be perfect. Hayden controls like he is carrying extra weights in his pockets, and the combat can become unfair and cheap at times, especially against the bosses. But it is an overlooked game that provides a nice mix of combat and atmosphere.